Morning, everyone. This is the March meeting of the Binghamton Local Development Corporation. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Our first order of business is are the minutes for the February 24th regular meeting, which you have in front of you. Ready for a motion whenever anyone's ready.
Correction is that the mayor did come in at 9:04 and says excuse.
We'll have to
Sorry
fix
about that.
that.
I think I rolled in, yeah. Thanks, Frank. Appreciate it.
That's a good catch. I wouldn't have caught that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have caught that on purpose. Anyway, okay, anything else?
You go, Frank. Motion?
Make a second. Do we have a second? Second. Any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you very much. Rachel, the 2023 Treasurer Report.
Okay, so this is the February Treasurer's Report. And we will start on page 4 with the restricted account. The end of month balance in the restricted account was $784,161.75. We skip over to the receivables page. You can see that we have added the Hanrahan loan, and they begin their payments this month, and he has paid. I'm sorry, that's page 5. So then we will skip to page 6 for the UDAG account. The end of month balance in February for UDAG was $1,087,547.04. And on the next page, the UDAG receivables, you'll see that pretty much everyone who has been regularly paying has been paid. The accounts that have not been paying are still not paid. That includes North Depot. And we are in contact with him trying to get that straightened out as we speak. Not really sure what's going on there. So on the next page, sorry, page 7 is blank. Page 8 for the unrestricted account, there was a small deposit. That was the commitment fee for Law, who is closing on their UDAG portion of their loan actually tomorrow, which is great. On the next page in the Broome Enterprise Triad account, there was no activity. On the following page, Mayor's Veterans Initiatives, there was no activity. And on the following page, in the grant account, there was no activity. So the final page, you see the delinquent loans, which are the same as last month, which, see, the delinquency percentage of all loans not designated non-performing is 0.56.
Any questions for Rachel?
I'll make one comment. Last month, Arena and Vista paid off their loan. They had
Yes.
originally 15,000. They made their last payment.
Very good. Thank you very much. On to new business. We have 3 resolutions this morning. The first one, 23-7. Resolution of the Binghamton Local Development Corporation authorizing the president to enter into an agreement with the city of Binghamton to accept funds to be used for the commercial facade grant program.
So you guys accepted the guidelines for this a couple months ago, last year sometime. So this is just authorizing us to accept the funds. We're gonna be taking this to council next week to actually get the funds moved and authorized, but this just enables us to, whenever those funds become available, enter into that agreement and not have to wait until the next meeting. We have, I think, 5 applicants, or we've had enough people reach out to us over the last year, and we've kind of just kept track of them, reached out to them for the initial application period. So I think the money will go quickly. It's certainly needed. We have a lot of properties that are historic and in need of masonry work, repointing. I'm sure many of you are aware of what happened at 23 Henry Street that caused Burger Mondays to have to close. So really appreciative of the business owners and property owners that use this to be proactive in keeping up these older buildings that can be expensive to maintain. We're excited about it.
It's 50,000.
Yeah, maximum $50,000 for historic buildings, and that's matching. They have to come up with a match.
For sale. Everybody needs one.
I don't have anything else. Obviously Councilwoman Rezanetti is here. We sent her the resolution, and we're confident City Council will move forward. I think it's a great program. One that we can, again, leverage our small business connections on these main streets and in kind of corridors. And I can talk a little bit about more in the mayor's remarks, but I think this is a great program. It's one that has been done in other communities. And so we're not looking to reinvent the wheel, just bring it local.
Any questions on that?
We have a motion.
Make a motion.
Right,
Second.
thank you. Thank you, Councilwoman. Any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Right. Resolution 23-8 is a resolution of the Binghamton Local Development Corporation authorizing the president to enter into a real estate option agreement with 100 Save Around Parkway LLC for Charles Street Business Park Lot number 2.
Yeah, so this is for both these resolutions 23-8 and 23-9. Back in January at the special meeting, you approved an option that had lot 2 and the open space area as one option. The Save Around Parkway LLC has asked us to split those in two. The projects are now advancing on different timelines. So they have a tenant that is going to be moving into their space, bringing around 80 jobs, high-level executive jobs into that building. They are working out those lease negotiations now with an August 1st move-in date as the goal. Obviously, we know those timelines can slip over time, but that is the aim. The company's already been in contact with us talking about how can we get in with local businesses, know where the best spots to go to lunch are, can we kind of have some partnerships, can we have some events on the street? So they're very excited to come in, but that obviously means that Save Around needs a new location. Joel's been working to try to find them a temporary space in the city of Binghamton. They've shown them a couple properties that have, those negotiations have gone well, but they ultimately want to build a new facility on that open space area, which is the next resolution. But they're still negotiating on what they would do with that lot 2, since it enables them to move forward with the open space area while negotiating for what's going to happen on lot 2. But it's the same terms of the agreement. Was a $10,000 option for both parcels. We split that into $7,000 for the larger parcel, $3,000 for the smaller parcel. So the net amount is the same. We just split it up between the two.
Any questions, comments?
Make a motion.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Susan. Any other questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
All right. This is good stuff. Very good stuff.
I guess as it's related, right, I'll make a motion on 23-9 as well.
Even before I read it.
I
Wow.
guess.
Good.
second.
Good.
All right.
All right. So should I put that into the record or do we not need to read it? Because I won't read it if I don't have to read it. That's
You
okay.
can read it.
All right, this is the resolution, the mayor just moved. Authorizes the president to enter into a real estate option agreement with 100 Save Around Parkway for the Charles Street Business Park open space area. Any other comments? We have a motion and a second on the floor. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Just hope it all happens.
Yeah.
Great.
Now, I know
We've
that-
been talking with Save Around every week. Joel's in very near constant communication with them. So negotiations are going well. These things take time, but this will enable them to move forward with those negotiations with confidence that the land can be secured.
Mayor, you're on.
Sure. Thanks for everyone's support of the commercial facade improvement program. Myself, Sarah, Juliet, last year went to a conference of NICOM at Syracuse, and the discussion was downtown revitalizations. And one of the most, I think, well-attended and in-demand sessions was regarding a commercial facade program that Syracuse had done, or excuse me, Onondaga County had done, that had really jump-started some commercial downtowns. And at the county level, they were focusing on a little bit smaller, but I thought that it would be something that we could bring to Binghamton. The fact that we've already had interest from, at least 5 local businesses and property owners is, I think, a good sign. We're going to be doing some press on this today to really get the word out. I think it's a big investment, especially as we consider the changing downtowns, post-COVID. The fact that what are our downtowns going to look like? Probably less of the professional work and more of the entertainment and housing. We need those facades and the streetscape and the storefronts to match that walkable, vibrant, entertainment forward, recreation forward downtown that I think we want to create. There's been a lot of work that's been done, but this will just continue to jumpstart it. And especially the focus where you get a little booster if you're working on a historic building, I think is critical. The other thing that I'll mention too, and I know Sarah's going to talk a little bit about the business plan competition, but we were able to have a call on a couple Fridays ago with the Commissioner of Homes and Community Renewal for the state. In all intents and purposes, this is really the governor's housing czar. And, we expressed that, look, in Binghamton, we have projects in the pipeline that are ready to go, or just awaiting state approval. And, is there anything we can do? Is there anything more that we can push? And the answer is that basically the state is going to be limited in terms of the number of housing projects they approve every year. And, that's certainly frustrating and certainly disappointing. But I think and the commissioner stated this, is that communities really have to start thinking more outside the box. That, if Broome County is only going to get one large scale affordable housing project or housing project funded per year by the state, then we need to look at other options. And so we're going to look at those. We're going to look at maybe some smaller scale projects, in talks with our folks like the First Ward Action Council or Greater Opportunities. Maybe it's not 100 units, but maybe it's 20. And if we can get 4 or 5 of those, now we're basically having the same impact. So it's going to look a little bit different. We're still going to chase the home run projects, but it's clear from the state level that they're expecting, and I, as mayor, will ensure that while we're going after the home runs, that we have a few singles and doubles along the way too. It's a number one issue. I just was at the Southside Neighborhood Assembly meeting last night, and housing was the number one topic everyone was talking about. So just as an LDC, in the way that we're thinking about whether it's our involvement in certain projects or just the economic development ecosystem in Binghamton, those kind of maybe smaller scale projects that are a little bit more on the local level with funding may be more of what the focus is the next couple of years as the state figures out, what the heck they're going to do on this backlog of affordable housing projects. So just wanted to share that. And I don't have anything concrete as of right now, but we're in many discussions with some community housing development partners that will want to do projects, and they want to do the smaller scale projects. So that'll turn it over to Sarah.
Yes, the mayor mentioned the biggest thing from us is the business plan competition. I'll let Joel talk more about it, but we launched that a few weeks ago. Already had a decent amount of interest in both the business development workshops that are next week and the competition at large. You want to add?
Well, I'd just say that we had a press conference for it on March 9th. That was over at the Confidence Southern Tier Incubator, attended by speakers with the mayor, of course, is our MC, Peter Newman, regional president with M&T Bank, actually the former BLDC board member, and who M&T Bank is a co-sponsor this year of the $7,500 prize list for the event. Daniel Britton, who was with SUNY Broome, in the capacity of the Entrepreneurial Assistance Center. Eric Crone, Eric was forgetting his name. Nick Zwerling stood in for Eric. And Laura Whitmore was last year's winner of the business plan competition, who owns a online and in-person educational preparation, ACT, SAT, college level course prep business. And it was very interesting hearing her speak. She went through and enumerated all the services sponsors that we have in this competition. Not only does the winner of the competition take away a $5,000 cash prize, but there's also a number of services that come along with it, from Davidson Fox, accounting services, Kaufman and Gerhardt, legal services, membership in the Greater Binghamton Chamber, sign services from 3i Graphics, website services from Freshy Sites, branding services from Ideacraft, and membership in the incubator. And she just spoke amazingly well about it. It was just a dreamy type of event to launch off the business plan competition this year. Next week, we start our workshops. We decided this year to normally we did the workshops all in one night. It was like a 2.5-hour session or so. And so we decided to split it up over 3 days. So we've had people contacting us to join that online, have a number of speakers. Merlin Joseph is the branch manager for Key Bank, a very active commercial banker in our community. He's going to be talking about the financial aspects of business plan development. Cheryl Fabrizi, a longtime lecturer at SUNY Broome, talks about marketing. Evelina Zajac Holdridge, the owner of IdeaCraft, which was a 2014 business plan competition winner. Sam Blakely, an attorney with Coughlin and Gerhardt, talks about legal concerns. Jacob Coupon, he was the 2020 business plan competition winner. Of course, he and his partner have worked out a very successful business that the city is taking advantage of in its sidewalk repair program with a replacement product for cement. And then, of course, Laura Whitmore, whom I spoke of, will be joining that as well for a session on how to pitch your business and fundamentally how to win the competition. So we're very excited about the event this year. It's taken a couple of different directions, and encourage you as board members, of course, to, if you can, just mention the event to others. If you happen to know of any businesses, people who are thinking about starting businesses in Binghamton, that's the goal of this, to help them go through the rigors of putting together a business plan. Even if they don't, win in the competition, that's something that whole discipline process. We had a press conference last Thursday for kicking off Restaurant Week, and saw there Sarah Liu, who is with Parlor City Beacon, who was the 2019 business plan competition winner. She talked about how important the competition was for the fact that she put together a business plan. It was just the impetus that she needed to help carry that business idea forward. So that's so important to our area. If we want to create jobs in this area, we're not going to do it necessarily with big industry. It's little businesses, Billy Ball, one play here, one play there. So again, all your help is appreciated. Thanks.
Do we market this on our website?
Yep.
Do we have little snippets of
And Facebook.
these people speaking about the business competition?
We have not yet. We actually were thinking about that after the presentation. We were like, we should have videoed that and taken clips of it because it was awesome.
Did anyone video it?
Just the news, so whatever ended up on the news, but Rachel and I have been talking about reaching out to Laura to do some sort of video interview and capture some of the things that she talked about, because she was a perfect advocate for the value of this. I will say she got a lot of support from Eric Crone in the incubator in accessing all those services. That's something we're gonna focus on again this year, is making sure that the people who win know how to access those services, how to use them best, because we've heard in the past they don't always get used. We were thrilled that she actually enumerated exactly how she used all of those, but she got that support to say, hey, what does $500 of legal services get me, and how can I leverage that into something greater for my business? And she said she's now taking on clients in international locales and growing that business. She just launched a mobile app. And a lot of that is because of the support she got from the business plan competition and our sponsors. So really grateful to them, and really grateful to Joel for putting all of this together. And the M&T sponsorship is huge. Peter Newman talked about the importance of this competition as a way to get maybe non-traditional entrepreneurs into the pipeline. It's a really accessible competition. We don't require, all the bells and whistles. We just want people who have a really strong idea and a passion for business. So I think it's one of the more accessible contests of this kind, with a lot of really supportive services. So, and we can forward out the email that Joel's been kind of circulating to people, to this group, if you want to forward it on to your networks. And we post about it on LinkedIn and Facebook. So continue to share those, and we'll get the word out.
I think the testimony is the way you described how Laura did.
Yes.
It's really important, because people have an idea of what that all means.
She did a tremendous job.
Follow up there. Great. Any other questions on business plan competition?
And the workshop's gonna be recorded.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep, we post them on our website.
And actually, yeah, to your question, last year's workshop, the entire workshop is on the city website.
Yeah, we split it up this year, hoping to maybe catch people who aren't even participating in the
Mhm.
program and just might be interested in some of those topics. So it's a pilot. We'll see if we get the same amount of attendance that we got in previous years. We got some feedback that the 2.5, 3 hours was too long in one sitting. We'll see if that bears out this year, and Joel's been very gracious in letting me tinker with his business plan competition, but I let him run it because he has all of the experience and it runs like a well-oiled machine at this point, so. Great. Just a couple other things. Major thing is that we are in negotiations with Boscov's on their lease. As you all know, the BLDC will ultimately take ownership of the building that Boscov's currently occupies. We are paying for outside counsel to do those lease negotiations for us. Just gives us additional capacity beyond what Brian and his office are able to do. They're very busy doing the work of the city, so we're grateful to be able to engage with outside counsel to do those negotiations. Their current lease will expire on April 30th, so we are going to be looking to have a draft of that. We were hoping to have something by this point to react to, so we've been pushing them to get that to us. There'll probably be a more major topic of conversation at next month's meeting, but wanted to give you guys a heads up on that. And in coordination with that, working with the Water Street Development Corporation, the garage is obviously separate from the building, but they're very linked together, both physically and just in terms of that's where Boscov's shoppers and downtown shoppers park. So working very closely with those two organizations, ours and the Water Street Development Corporation. Other than that, we've been just doing a lot of all these little things, meeting with Buckingham Manufacturing to talk about how we can support their expansion, whether it's monetarily or just with helping them get the word out about jobs they have open. We just met with a downtown business that's looking to expand, to talking about how our programs may fit for them, and if we're not the right fit, directing them out to other resources in the community. This is spring, so we're looking down the pipe of cafe permits going out, so restaurants can have outdoor seating, outdoor events, people who want to activate our spaces in our downtown and how we can make that event process easier for them. Looking at landscaping and beautification of the city as we come out of the gray, snow melt, muddy springtime. We met with the Washington Street businesses recently to talk about, issues they've been having on gorgeous Washington Street, how we can be supportive of that, and we're working with them to develop a program by which they'll pay for additional landscaping on gorgeous Washington Street. The LDC paid for that last year with the agreement that the businesses would come together and work together to find a way to finance that. So they've been working doggedly on that. We're very happy about it. So overall, things are going well. I think we're moving in the right direction. Slow and steady momentum, making a difference in downtown Binghamton. So we appreciate all of your support on that.
Great.
Me.
Everyone, thank you. Nicole, would you like to introduce yourself? I think it's your first BLDC meeting.
My name is Nicole Spastowitz. I'm the new attorney for the council office. I used to work at the Cheyenne County and Brooklyn District Attorney's office.
She's our new face on the 5th floor. And
Welcome.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Anyone have anything else for the good of the order?
All right. Thanks, everybody, very much. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Yeah.